This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Florida. I'm here with an author who has written a practical guide to personal transformation and self improvement, providing readers with strategies and techniques for redefining and reinventing themselves. I'm joined here with the author, RosaLind. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You're formally educated with a master's from the University of Kansas. You retired as a director of HR and as a professor who was known for your insightful teaching and deep understanding of social dynamics. You have taught various courses while guiding your students to analyze the complexities of topics critically. Share with me a little bit, first of all, what life looked like prior to retirement and before you became an author.
I loved teaching. It was a lot of fun. And both my parents were teachers. I grew up saying I was never going to be a teacher. And of course, that is exactly what I became. I think it was genetic. And so I taught women's studies and social issues, social problems, all those kinds of things. I feel deeply about humanity and, where we're going and our need to care for each other. And it was just a natural fit. I mean, I was born to be a teacher. I couldn't fight it. Although I loved it, my mother came to live with me 8 years ago, and I became her caregiver as time went on. And I realized that I needed to retire because she needed more time and attention. And, also the political environment in Florida has been kind of crazy. So, it was beginning to affect education as well as everything else.
And that's really what brought you here today, right? I mean, here we are, fast forward today, retirement shifted a little bit for you. I mean, it was a Greek philosopher who once said, the only thing constant is change. Not only is that true throughout our life, but even into retirement and beyond. Did you find this true for yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, it is a stepping through a new door and not just a door that's a familiar door, but it's a new door. I mean, it's a new path. And even if you have thought about, oh, when I retire, I'm going to travel and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, the reality of the change hits you, that, you've had this identity that you have depended on. And all of a sudden, that's not there anymore. And you begin to say, well, who am I in the world now? And what is my life purpose? And I wrote about it because I was experiencing it, and nobody had talked about those things. When they talked about retirement, it was all about your money and your little bucket list, but it wasn't what do you feel day to day and who are you in the world now?
I mean, quite honestly, what is that saying that says, if you want to make God laugh, make plans for your future? Yeah, different plans as well. Our life is constantly in transformation and not always lining up with our expectations. You worked as a director of human resources. What did you envision for retirement? And did some of those plans materialize, or has life taken you on a whole different direction as it sometimes does?
Some of them did materialize because I made them. Um, And some of them, changed because I realized that time with my mother was more of a priority to me than I think I had originally planned for. I loved my mom. We were close friends as well as mother-daughter. But when I thought about what I was gonna do with my life, I didn't really think about, what it meant to be a caregiver. For one thing, I never had children of my own. My caregiving was basically limited to spoiled dogs.
That's being very honest. I mean, so clearly experience reinvention yourself firsthand. Why the decision to write about it?
Yeah. Well, because I realized that there were things about it that no one said to me, that I was learning this stuff on my own. And when I talked to other people about it, they said, "Oh, yeah, I felt that," or, "Oh, yeah, that was really something," or, and I realized, well, gee, nobody said anything about it. Why is that? And I don't know. I guess because everybody felt it was so personal and they thought it was just them. And so I decided I needed to be the one, to write about it and to say to people that it's okay to feel fear, to feel that you kind of are abandoned in the world. You're alone now because even though you say you're going to keep in touch with your friends from work and what have you, you're not the same anymore. You're on different tracks, you know?
Can't many times you can't do it, especially when your time is taken up like that. In your book, reinventing you, designing your life purpose in your senior years, is this really kind of a practical guide on how to focus on self-discovery and growth? And the tips you share, did they help you navigate kind of the unknown territory, even for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely, they did help me to navigate those things, and it is a combination of, ways in which I tell people to assess themselves. What is it you really want? Have you really thought about that? And, I mean, because there are people who said, "Oh, I'm gonna just go home and sit on my porch and, relax." And they're bored after day 3, and so, it's sorta like, "Well, what is it that you really want? Let me help you to think about that." And also, one of the benefits of reinvention is you have this opportunity for personal growth and for self-discovery in a way that you don't when you're trying to live your life day to day, and do meet all the needs of everyone you care about and your professional obligations. And so you get a chance to really kinda examine yourself and say, "What is it I really wanna do? And is that a reality for me at my age, to do that?" Um And I mean, I'm 69 now, and one of the things I'm gonna be doing next month is I'm going on a dance cruise because I like to dance, but I don't have any confidence in my ability.
Yeah, it's great. You're still reinventing yourself and getting out there and learn of life. The reader will find strategies and techniques, not only reinventing themselves, but actually redefining who they are now as a senior. Would the younger you maybe not even recognize the you of today?
Well, yeah, I think that is definitely true. Yeah, that it is someone who's quite different in a lot of ways, but I still have the girl in me too, you know? And I think people need to be told that's okay. Y We don't have to be any one particular description of what it means to be a senior or what it means to be 69 or 68 or 72, you know? We are each our own individual perfect beings, and we need to be able to embrace that, and to not feel like we have to follow any particular path except the one that's most comfortable for us.
It's kind of like when you became a teacher. You didn't want to be a teacher, and yet when you embraced it, you realized it was something that was really meant for you. When these are issues that we all will face. I mean, learning to identify and apply personal strengths, overcoming self limiting beliefs, and navigating career or even income changes. What has been some of the feedback from other folks that have read your book?
Well, I have one friend who said, "Wow, I can't believe that this book helped me so much." I was struggling with what to do next, and it made me kept putting off retirement because I was kinda scared, and after looking at this, I thought, "Hey, there's all these opportunities, and there are all these things I've always wanted to do, and, why what is this fear that's holding me back?" And so he did it, and, he just told me that he did a talk, at the University of Washington University in St. Louis, and he talked about something he's very knowledgeable about, and had a wonderful response and is on a new career track, as a public speaker on this issue. And so I think that is just fantastic, because he's not a guy who's gonna retire and sit on the front porch. So I'm so glad he found something that, really fits him. And then other people have said, "Hey, it was a little difficult for me because even though I wanna do these things, I don't know if I really can." And, I had to say to them, my grandfather always said, my dad says, "Nothing beats a failure but a try." And the reality is that it's not really a failure. It is a growth opportunity. It's an opportunity to try something new, and maybe that doesn't work for you, but the next thing probably will.
Like they say, the destination is always not the big thing. Many times it's the journey, just trying it. When you took on the role of caregiver for your mother, I mean, it really caused you to pause and ask, what is really important? Do you see that experience now as possibly a gift that maybe was given to you?
It really helped me to figure out what I prioritized in my life. I've always prioritized those I love as being, so important, but I never really thought about, you know, what does it mean to give your all kind of to someone you love. And plus I didn't feel competent to be a caregiver. I had to learn from scratch, what is it that I need to do here? And it was tough, but it was also, you know, a wonderful time for me to have with my mom. And so I'm grateful for that. But it also made me think about what was important to me and kind of changed the direction of what I want to be, what I or created a direction for me about what I wanted to be writing about. Self-care, reinventing your life, caregiving, things that have meaning, that had meaning to me and that I think do for a lot of other people. And so that's what I write about.
I mean, you're really still teaching people. You're really still a teacher at heart. You're still doing that. This shift in your life compelled you to write not only one book, but two. Your second book was Caring for Adults You Love is Hard. Competent caregiving requires self care. Did this writing begin while caring for your mother?
Yes, it did. Mm, Because kept finding out all these things that I didn't know and discovering that resources I thought would be there weren't. And I started meeting new people around caregiving. And some of the stories I heard were heartbreaking, and others were so inspirational. And so I wanted to share with people kind of that it is hard and emotionally and physically too to care for an adult that you love. But it is also inspirational and it is also beautiful. And it is one of the best gifts you can ever give, you know, to another person. And them allowing you to care for them is one of the best gifts they could ever give to you.
Yeah, that is great. The second book sounds great. When will that be coming out, or is that already out for sale?
Well, actually, I had someone format it for me, and they told me today, "Hey, I'm downloading your book, and so you can look at it and make sure everything's okay." And so I think it'll be up on Amazon next week.
Just in time for the broadcast. Roseanne, since the passing of your mother, you began 2025 on a profound journey of grief, self reflection, and once again, reinvention. Is your hope to simply provide self help resources for others so that they are not alone on that journey?
It is. That is definitely one of the things that has meaning for me. I want to share what I've learned and to help people through processes that are difficult, you know. And the third book that I'm working on that's almost done is about empowered leadership, and it's about women working, kind of redesigning the modern workplace. And so each thing that I write about is something that I've been through and that I think other people might need help with.
That is great. I mean, a whole new direction for you. You're once again sharing your experiences and your insight in all those things. I love your story. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her LinkedIn profile right there, where you can connect with her and see what her next book, when it's going to be available. You can find her first book now right there on Amazon. This is an author whose journey into writing about self help really stems from her own life experience. Once again, that is RosaLind Fisher, because life is full of transitions. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.